But just imagine all of the good things that we will accomplish together with 4 more years in the White House, and we're going to do a lot of things. You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them. Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. Think of it. We've allowed millions and millions of people into our country through open borders, no checks, no vetting, no anything. Millions and millions of people. And lots of those people are murderers. 52% of them killed more than one person. Other than that, they're quite fine. They're nice people. These are rough people. Remember, I used to say these people are rough. And they would say, no, these are illegal immigrants. They're very safe. I said, they're not safe. Look at what's happened with Venezuela, where they're sending these gangs in and they're taking over apartment complexes in Colorado and then cutting off the fingers of a man who had the nerve and desire to call the police. He said, you want to call the police? Bah, guess what? You have no fingers. These are rough people, and they're getting the hell out of our country. They're out.
What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are keeping warm out there on this cold Monday night. I'm doing pretty good myself, trying to. Telling you boys, earlier today, I can swear I felt my teeth chattering when I went outside. It's that cold here in Fort Wayne right now. Well, we got another 4 years of the Trump administration. You understand? And it looks like Trump is making good on a lot of things. You know, the thing with TikTok and what have you. And, you know, he helped to rescue TikTok to stay in America. You understand? But turns out to be, from what I understand about this situation with TikTok, is that America will own like 50% of that Chinese social media platform. I think that's what saved TikTok, okay? But he also making good, as we just heard him say, about these illegal immigrants. No more coming in and fleecing America, getting benefits that everyday Americans can't even get. Okay? No more of that. No more of what? I think it was like $15,000 in food stamps a month, you know, and free public housing, what have you, and $5,000, $5,000 to $10,000, you know what I mean? Checks a month. No more of that. You know, your boy Trump right here is going to put a stop to that. Now, I do agree with him on that. I really do. You see, it's one thing, you know, to help people, foreigners that come in this country. It's one thing to do that. But when you neglect your own people, that's like grounds for treason right there. And that's all there is to it. That's not cool. You know, I cannot ride with that at all. You know, he's been making moves prior to, you know, this whole inauguration thing. What his promise was is actually starting this thing on, you know, mentioning it in, you know, his inauguration, as we just watched him do, you know. But prior to that, he's putting ICE in, you know, in the mix, you know, and they're secretly, you know, making plans to actually invade, starting with Chicago, from my understanding. But you had some migrants basically said, forget it, we'll just deport ourselves, you know, and get ahead of the game so we can, you know, pretty much just bypass all the embarrassment, you know, being put in handcuffs, guns drawn on you, and sent out of here, you know. Without further ado, I got a couple of video clips I want us to watch. First, starting with the situation with ICE, and also the people that saying, hey, we'll just go ahead and deport ourselves. So check this out.
Starting mass deportations was one of Trump's day one priorities. What do we know about his first plans that NBC News is now reporting?
Exactly. Our colleague Julia Ainsley is reporting that in Chicago specifically, that Immigration and Customs Enforcement is intending as soon as Tuesday, of course, the day after Donald Trump's inauguration on Monday, to begin enforcing immigration laws and going and putting into effect a deportation program. It is not clear the exact specifics of what this operation would look like, the extent to which it would target businesses that may be employing undocumented immigrants. There's potential of targeting, particularly brown neighborhoods where there are potentially larger concentrations of undocumented migrants. And so for the Trump administration, over the course of last years, they have maintained that they would enact the largest deportation program since the Eisenhower administration. Now, to note, Kristi Noem was up on Capitol Hill this week. She has been tapped by Donald Trump to lead Department of Homeland Security. But there is particularly within this incoming Trump administration power that is being designated by the incoming president to individuals who are serving as effectively czars, including Tom Homan, who is his border czar. And Kristi Noem, the South Dakota governor, faced questioning about exactly who would be in control of ICE and immigration policy and actually executing on the desires of the president-elect. Take a listen.
Who's going to be in charge of the border?
Well, the president will be in charge of the border.
Will he be giving orders directly to CBP, ICE, USCIS?
Tom Homan has a direct line to the president. He is an advisor to the president, the border czar. I obviously will be, if nominated and confirmed, and put into the position of being the Department of Homeland Security Secretary and responsible for the authorities that we have and the actions that we take.
In Julia's reporting, she reports that ICE has requested volunteer agents to step forward for the Chicago operations and that similar operations could take place in other cities around the country.
Just a couple minutes at the top of the hour here, and President-elect Trump has promised to carry out the largest deportation operation in U.S. history. And before those operations begin, some migrants are already choosing to leave the country voluntarily. News Nation's Jorge Ventura joins us live from San Antonio, Texas this morning with more on this story. Jorge, how many migrants are we actually seeing doing this, leaving voluntarily?
Right now, Marky, it's unclear, but we are starting to see a trend, and this comes as cities across the U.S. and Mexico are now bracing for President-elect's deportation operation. But his hardline messaging on those deportation efforts have some migrants panicking and some even choosing now to self-deport back to the home countries. I spoke with immigration attorney Rolando Vasquez, who tells me that some of the immigrants that he represents that entered under the Biden administration are now choosing to return home, fearing deportation under the incoming administration.
Just as recent as yesterday, they notified me that they're going to depart the country voluntarily, and understanding that, you know, the Trump administration is going to carry through on their promises.
And it's not just Trump's deportation plans that are influenced these decisions. Vasquez says it's also that Mexico is now open to accepting non-Mexican deportees. Mexico's move would impact Cuban and Venezuelan migrants the most, since those countries typically do not accept deportation flights from the U.S., but may from Mexico.
This is causing for many migrants to leave on their own, knowing that they're either going to be deported to their home country or be deported to Mexico. And they obviously, the overwhelming majority of them do not want to be in Mexico.
And my sources in Mexico tell me that it's likely that cartels and smugglers will exploit, kidnap, and extort those newly deported migrants. As of right now, it's unclear if Mexico has a plan to protect those deported migrants, Marky.
Yeah, border's about to change on Monday. At least that's what voters were promised. Jorge Ventura, thank you so much, live from San Antonio this morning. Thanks for...
So you see, Trump wasn't messing around. He was talking about putting these migrants out of this country. He's making good on his promise. You know, he's mentioning this in his inauguration speech. A big headache for them. You know, Mexico said they are prepared to take a lot of these people in. So it's not like they're not going to really have anywhere, you know, nowhere where they can be. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, we got to admit, you know, things was like going way left. And I'm not saying that Trump's going to make everything's all right, because when it comes to this whole political thing, I care less, really. But you have to, pretty much assess the situation to where it actually would affect you personally in your life. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, crime was off of the chain, that is. These people are violating hoods. They're going up in hoods. We got enough problems as it is when it comes down to, crime in the hood and what have you. And Venezuelan gangs, look, we've seen the things that those people were doing. So, hey, it is what it is. Now, I agree with the Trump administration about deportation because, like I said, they were actually taking food out of the mouths of the American people, money out of the pockets of the American people, and also homes free. You see what I'm saying? Like I said before, this basically with this government under the Biden and Harris administration, look, it's like downright next to treason. What they did, for these people versus their own people. You see what I'm saying? But I wonder what a lot of these marketers would say if they heard Trump say what I just heard him say. Trump said that, hey, look, they rigged the election. Basically speaking about the Olympics. He actually admitted they rigged the election, and also that Elon Musk had something to do with it. All right? Yes. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, let me show you so you can see for yourself. Check this out.
Our love to everyone affected by the terrible wildfires raging in California. We're praying for you all. We love you all. We're going to be there very soon. I'm going to go out there on Friday to see it and to get it moving back. We're going to get some of the best builders in the world. We'll get it moving back. And I also want to pay my respects to the great people of North Carolina. I won it every single time. And they've been treated very badly. FEMA almost didn't know it existed. And we're going to get North Carolina rocking and rolling, okay? We're going to get them rocking and rolling. They've been treated very badly as a state. Together we will rebuild Los Angeles better, more beautiful than ever before. We're going to get it going. We have the best builders in the world. It's the only people that could do it. Nobody else knows what the hell they're doing. And in 2028, the Los Angeles Olympics will be one of the great sporting events and patriotic celebrations in history. I was with Gianni, the head of the Olympics, and because of the wildfires, they're going to do a special job. They're going to really do something very special for the Olympics. And the opposite, some people say, oh, maybe the Olympics can't go there. It turned out just the opposite. They came to see me the other day, and the committee, and it's just the opposite. So the Olympics is great. And Johnny for the others, the World Cup, Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup too. And it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics. And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon.
See, I told you, he admitted that they rigged the election for him to get back in the office. But at the same time, 4 years ago when Biden actually, took office, Trump said that they rigged the election for him to lose. So I don't know if this is some get back or not. But nevertheless, Trump is in office. He got 4 more years of the Trump administration. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Going to be very, very interesting, especially since his cabinet is basically made up of entertainers like Sylvester Stallone, and then you got like, you know, Elon Musk. You know, we know what he's about. You know, he's making artificial intelligence and artificial fake people, and going to complete the MOTB, I do believe. You know what I mean? That whole thing there. So, hey, gonna be a wild ride, people. But what say you? Tell me what you think about this particular situation right here in the comment section. That's if you can comment. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it. What do y'all think it's gonna be like? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.